Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a trip back in time, deep into the mountains of Montana, to a place where fortunes were made and lost almost overnight. We're exploring the forgotten story of Rancher, a ghost town that once roared with the promise of gold. Our story begins in the late 1860s. Imagine this: a lone prospector, maybe tired and covered in dust, sifts through a pan of creek gravel. Suddenly, a glint of yellow catches his eye. It's not just a speck, it's gold. News of a strike in the remote Montana wilderness spreads like wildfire. People from all walks of life, seasoned miners, hopeful families, and cunning entrepreneurs, began a grueling journey drawn by the irresistible pull of treasure. Within months, a makeshift camp of tents and crude log cabins sprang up, clinging to the mountainside. This was the birth of Rancher. The early days were pure chaos and excitement. Every day, new veins of gold were discovered. The ground here wasn't just rich, it was incredibly generous. We're not talking about tiny flakes. Miners were pulling out substantial nuggets, some reportedly as big as a man's thumb. The primary treasure was lode gold, meaning it was embedded in quartz veins deep within the earth. This required serious, heavy-duty mining. Soon, the simple panning in the creek gave way to something much bigger. Mining companies moved in, bringing with them the money and machinery to dig deep into the mountains. The hills around Rancher began to echo with the constant thunder of dynamite blasts and the rhythmic clang of stamp mills. These massive machines, working 24/7, would crush tons of quartz rock, separating the precious metal from the worthless stone. Tunnels, called adits, were bored horizontally into the mountains, following the twisting veins of gold. It was dangerous, back-breaking work in dark, damp, and unstable conditions. But for the chance at life-changing wealth, thousands were willing to take the risk. As the mines grew, so did the town. Rancher wasn't just a camp anymore. It was a bona fide boomtown. A main street emerged from the mud, lined with wooden buildings. It had everything a bustling town needed: saloons on every corner, hotels with surprisingly fancy amenities, a general store selling supplies at inflated prices, and even an opera house for entertainment. At its peak, Rancher was home to several thousand people. The air buzzed with energy, a mix of hope, greed, and the constant noise of the stamp mills crushing ore day and night. Fortunes were won and lost at the card tables, and the town was alive with the dreams of striking it rich. But the gold, as generous as it was, couldn't last forever. By the early 1900s, the rich veins were starting to run dry. The big mining companies found it was costing them more to get the gold out than the gold itself was worth. One by one, the mines began to shut down. The thunder of the stamp mills fell silent. With the mines closed, there were no jobs. The paychecks stopped, and the reason for Rancher's existence vanished. The decline was as rapid as its rise. People packed up what they could and left, seeking the next big strike or simply a way to survive. Storefronts were boarded up, houses were abandoned. The once crowded streets grew quiet, and nature began its slow, steady process of reclaiming the land. Today, all that remains of Rancher are a few skeletal log cabins and the ghostly ruins of the mining operations. The wind whistles through the empty window frames, a haunting reminder of the thousands of lives that once filled this valley with noise and ambition. It's a powerful testament to the boom and bust cycle of the Old West, a place born from a golden dream, now sleeping silently in the Montana mountains. Thanks for joining me on this journey to Rancher. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into forgotten history. See you next time.